She said she missed the old me, but I had to bury him, because loving her cost him everything, the laughter, the softness, the spark she once adored, gone, not because I stopped caring, but because I cared too much, and lost myself in the process. See, this isn't just a story about a man and a woman. This is what happens when a man gives everything, and still ends up invisible, when love turns into duty, and kisses turn into cold silence. If you've ever loved someone so deeply it slowly destroyed you, or felt the weight of being strong for two, then this story is for you, because some men don't leave, they just fade, quietly. If this speaks to your soul, like the video. Subscribe for more stories that finally say what men feel, but rarely say out loud. Your voice matters here. You love her, so you marry her. You give your name, you give your word, you give your life. In the beginning, you don't see the cost. You see her smile, you hear her laugh, you feel like a man, and so you build. You work long hours, you stretch your body, you kill your pride, you sacrifice your rest. You start carrying weight no one else notices. Rent, food, bills, emergencies, you solve them silently, because that's what men do. You stop buying clothes, you wear old shoes, you eat last, you sleep less. You don't complain, she's your priority, her dreams matter, her peace matters. You become her anchor, you become her shield, but slowly you start to disappear. Piece by piece, day by day, you fade quietly. You sit in silence after long days. You smile on command even when you're drained. You pretend you're okay. You don't get thanks. You don't get praise. You get expectations. You get reminders. You get to-do lists. You used to feel seen. Now you feel used. You used to feel loved. Now you feel needed. And only when useful. You come home tired. She says, "We need to talk." You brace yourself. It's never about you. It's what you didn't do. She says you've changed. You don't talk anymore. You're always busy. You're always tired. You're never present. She misses the man who had time, the man who listened, the man who laughed, the man who chased her. You want to scream, "I'm still that man," but now I'm buried under responsibility, pressure, and silence. But you stay quiet, because you love her, because you care, because you're a man. And men don't break. You give her comfort, you give her safety, you give her stability, you carry her storms, you hide your own. She says you never cry. She says you're distant. She says you're cold. She doesn't see how much you hold. Your pain isn't visible, it's internal bleeding. You wear a mask, you fake strength, you die slowly. You want someone to ask, "Are you okay?" But no one asks, no one sees, no one checks, because men are providers. Men are protectors. Men are warriors, not humans, not hearts, not souls. You sit at dinner while she talks. You nod politely. You want to say, "I'm not okay," but she's venting about her day, her boss, her co-workers, her stress. So you listen, you support. You say, "You got this." Even though you're drowning, even though you're empty, marriage becomes a job, a contract, a duty, a calendar of events, a list of expectations. You give affection. She says it's not romantic. You give gifts. She says it's not thoughtful. You try again. You take her out. She scrolls her phone. You say you miss her. She laughs it off. You feel invisible. You talk less. You touch less. You laugh less. You sleep apart, you grow cold, but you stay, because you promised, because you remember, because you hope, because you love, and then one day you break. Alone in your car, in the shower, in silence, you cry where no one sees. You scream inside. You ask God, "Is this love? Is this marriage?" You remember your vows, for better or worse, in sickness and health. You wonder whose sickness counts, because your soul is sick. You think of leaving, but you can't. You won't. You're a man. You endure. You fear losing your kids. You fear courtrooms. You fear lawyers. You fear false accusations. You fear being erased. So you stay in a house that feels cold, with a woman who's distant, with a smile that's forced, with a heart that's tired. And when you try to speak, she says you're complaining. She says men have it easy. She says you don't understand. She says you're privileged. You swallow your pain. You nod again. You get up early. You go to work. You provide. At night you lie awake, staring at the ceiling, next to someone you don't recognize anymore, next to a stranger, and yet you still love her, not the version now, but the girl you met, the one who smiled for you. You miss her laugh, you miss her eyes. You miss the way she used to look at you, like you mattered. Now she looks through you, around you, past you, like you're furniture, like you're a utility. You gave her everything, your youth, your time, your strength, your soul, and now you feel forgotten, like an old shirt, like background noise, like wallpaper. But you can't leave, because you love your kids, because you fear the system, because you were taught that real men don't quit. So you stay and you rot, and you hope that one day she sees you again. You hope for a thank you, a soft hand on your chest, a whispered "I see you." But those moments fade like memories in fog. You watch her change. Her hair, her voice, her body, her tone. She's not soft anymore. She's sharp, efficient, tired, resentful. You wonder what happened to us. Where did the warmth go? Where did the laughter go? Where did I go? And then you realize you stopped being a man. You became a servant, a mule, an emotional trash can, because society lied. They told you to provide, to protect, to obey, to suppress. They never told you that men have needs too, that men feel too, that men break too, that men cry too. So now you sit with the truth that marriage can break a man in silence, not from hatred, but from neglect, from slow erosion, from quiet dismissal, from invisible wounds. But you're still here, still breathing, still showing up, still standing, still fighting, because deep down you still believe in love, in loyalty, in something real. You don't want out. You want back to when she looked at you like you were her world. You want her hand on your face, whispering, "Thank you, I forgot you bleed." You want to say, "I'm not Superman, I'm not a machine, I'm just a man who tried," but you don't say it. Because you're scared she'll call it weakness, she'll say you're dramatic, she'll roll her eyes. So you die quietly, behind strong shoulders, behind calm eyes, behind a tired smile, behind duty. And when your boys ask, "What's love, Dad?" you pause. You want to warn them, but you say it's sacrifice, son, because that's what it became. Not joy, not play, not peace, but sacrifice. You hope they'll see better, find women who listen, who see, who touch, who love, and maybe, just maybe, one day she'll look at you again and remember who you were. Not the worker, not the ATM, not the problem, not the ghost, but the man who stayed, the man who carried, the man who bled, the man who never stopped loving her in silence. And if she doesn't, then at least you'll know you gave everything without losing your soul. That's the hidden truth most men carry not out loud, not in words, but in weary hearts. And no one sees it until it's too late, until he's gone, not in death, but in spirit. That's the burden of being a man in a marriage that forgets he's human too. And that was the moment I finally understood. Not all love stories are meant to last. Some are meant to teach, to break you, to rebuild you. I gave her everything, and in doing so, I lost myself. But I'm not bitter, I'm just awake now. Sometimes the greatest strength is walking away quietly, no anger, no begging, no war. Just peace, the kind of peace you find when you finally choose you. So if you've ever loved too hard, held on too long, or waited for someone who never truly saw you, you're not alone. Thank you for listening, for walking through this with me, and if this story echoed even a piece of your own, hit that like button, subscribe for more, because here we don't just tell stories, we tell the truth. Until next time, take care of your heart. It's the only one you've got.